Picture a mountain, ancient and unyielding, standing tall as a savage storm rages around it. Lightning splits the sky, winds howl with fury, and rain lashes its rugged face. Yet the mountain does not flinch, it does not crumble. It waits, rooted in stillness, knowing the storm will pass. You, too, stand amidst your own tempests, chaos of decisions, pressure of time, the seductive pull of instant results. Do you rush into the gale, risking everything? Or do you anchor yourself in patience, waiting for the right moment to act? Welcome to the first step of your journey in understanding that patience is power. In this section, The Trap of Rush, we confront the destructive allure of impatience, the silent thief that robs you of true victory. Impatience whispers that faster is better, that now is the only time to strike. But beware, rushing is a trap, a mirage of progress that leaves you lost and broken. Let's uncover why waiting quietly can forge you into an unstoppable force, ready to strike hard and win smart. Imagine yourself as a young professional, burning with ambition. You've just graduated, your diploma still crisp in your hands, and the world feels like a race you must win. You land your first job, a stepping stone, but within months, the grind feels like a cage. The salary isn't enough, the title isn't grand, and your peers are posting promotions on social media. So, you jump ship. A new job, a new city. Surely this is the big break. 6 months later, the excitement fades again. Another leap, another promise of better. 3 years pass, and you've cycled through 5 roles, each one leaving you emptier than the last. Your resume is a patchwork of half starts, your skills shallow, your confidence eroded. You chase the quick win, the instant leap to the top, but all you've built is a foundation of sand. Now I picture that mountain in the storm. Had you stayed, rooted in one place, weathering the early struggles, you could have carved deep expertise, earned trust, built a reputation. Impatience drove you to run from the rain, but it was the rain that would have shaped you into something enduring. The lesson stings, but shines clear. Rushing scatters your energy, while stillness gathers your strength. True power isn't in the frantic chase, it's in the quiet wait for the right summit to climb. Now, see yourself as an athlete, a runner with a fire in your chest. You've trained for months, your eyes fixed on a marathon that promises glory. Every mile you log fuels your hunger, but the race is still weeks away. Friends urge caution, coaches preach pacing, yet impatience gnaws at you. Why wait, you think? I'm ready now. So you push harder, longer runs, heavier weights, no rest days. Your body screams, but you ignore the ache, chasing the high of more. Then it happens. A sharp pain tears through your leg mid-stride, a torn muscle. The doctor says, 6 weeks off. The marathon comes and goes while you sit on the sidelines, ice pack in hand, dreams limping behind you. Like that mountain enduring the storm, your body needed time to adapt, to strengthen under pressure, not break under haste. You rushed the process, mistaking speed for progress, and paid the price in setbacks. The truth cuts deep. Impatience doesn't accelerate victory, it derails it. Had you waited, listened, and built your endurance brick by brick, you'd have crossed that finish line. Patience isn't passive, it's the quiet power that prepares you to strike hard when the moment is right. Why do you fall for the trap of rush? It's a siren call, luring you with the illusion that immediate action equals immediate success. In a world of instant gratification, next-day delivery, viral fame, one-click solutions, waiting feels like failure. But look closer. Every time you've chased now, haven't you stumbled? How many half-finished projects litter your past, abandoned because they didn't bloom fast enough? Impatience is a thief, stealing your focus, your growth, your peace. It tricks you into believing that movement is mastery, when in truth, it's often just noise. Return to the mountain in the storm. It doesn't lash out at the wind or crumble under the rain. It stands, unshakable, because it knows its strength lies in endurance, not reaction. So must you. Patience isn't about inaction. It's about resisting the urge to act before the ground beneath you is solid. It's the discipline to wait until the chaos clears, revealing the path to true power. When you rush, you scatter your energy like leaves in a gale. When you wait, you gather it like a river carving stone, slowly, surely unstoppable. Ask yourself, what have you lost to the lure of now? And what could you gain by standing firm? Impatience breeds chaos, a storm of your own making. Think of the times you've acted on impulse, quitting a job in anger, snapping at a loved one, chasing a shortcut that led nowhere. Each rash move felt right in the heat of the moment. But what did it cost you? Trust broken, opportunities missed, regrets piled high. The rush to react, to fix, to escape is a false promise. It's a fire that burns out before it warms. You think you're moving forward, but you're only spinning in place. Contrast this with the mountain stillness. The storm rages, yet the peak remains untouched at its core. It doesn't fight the tempest, it outlasts it. So, too, must you learn to outlast your inner storms, the frustration, the doubt, the desperate need for results. Patience is your anchor when the winds of urgency howl. It teaches you that not every battle needs to be fought today. Not every goal needs to be seized this second. Sometimes the smartest strike is the one delayed until the enemy, be it doubt, fear, or circumstance, exhausts itself. Reflect on this. How often has your haste created more problems than it solved? Could waiting have turned your losses into lessons? When the itch to rush grips you, stop. Breathe. Impatience is a wildfire, and your first defense is to starve it of fuel. Before you quit that job, end that relationship, or chase that shiny new idea, ask yourself, am I running from discomfort or toward real growth? Write down one reason to stay the course, one potential gain from waiting. Maybe it's the skill you're building, the trust you're earning, or the strength you're forging. Hold that reason like a shield against the storm of now. Then let's set a small, deliberate timeline. Give yourself a week, a month, to assess without acting. Observe the situation as the mountain observes the storm, detached, steady, wise. Often, time reveals what haste obscures, a hidden opportunity, a clearer path. If the urge to leap persists, test it with one small step instead of a blind jump. Apply for one job before resigning. Train for one extra mile before overhauling your routine. Patience doesn't mean stagnation. It means measured moves. Start today, pause, reflect. Wait quietly, and you'll see the power in restraint. Stillness is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice to master. When impatience claws at you, train yourself to wait with purpose. Start small. The next time you're stuck in traffic or waiting for a delayed response, resist the urge to fume or distract yourself. Instead, sit with the moment. Breathe deeply. Count to 10, and notice your thoughts without acting on them. This is your mountain training, learning to endure the storm without breaking. Carry this into bigger decisions. When a quick fix tempts you, create a wait ritual. Write down the impulse, then set it aside for 24 hours. Return to it with fresh eyes. Ask, does this still feel urgent, or was it just a passing whim? Often, the need to rush fades with time, revealing a smarter path. Build this habit daily, and stillness will become your strength. You'll no longer be a leaf tossed by every gust. You'll be the mountain, unshaken, waiting for the right moment to strike hard and win smart. As we close this exploration of the trap of rush, let the lesson sink deep. Impatience is a seductive trap, promising speed but delivering chaos. You've seen it in the restless professional, scattered by endless leaps, and the overeager athlete, broken by haste. You've felt it in your own life, the pull to act before you're ready, to reap before you've sown. But remember the mountain enduring the storm, unshakable stillness in the face of chaos. It doesn't bow to the tempest, it waits, knowing its strength is timeless. So must you. The destructive allure of impatience can only be defeated by the quiet power of patience, the choice to stand firm when everything screams move. Embrace this truth as your foundation. Rushing fractures your potential, while waiting forges it. As we move forward, we'll build on this, learning how to wait quietly with purpose, preparing to strike with precision. For now, hold this image, be the mountain, let the storm pass, and trust that your moment is coming. Stand firm, your stillness is your strength. Picture this, a panther in the heart of the jungle, its sleek form hidden among the shadows of ancient trees, its eyes, sharp and unyielding, lock onto its prey. It does not roar, it does not charge. It waits, silent, still, a master of restraint. Every muscle is coiled, every sense alert, until the perfect moment arrives. Then, with a strike as swift as lightning, it claims its victory. You, too, hold this power within you. In a world that demands instant action, endless noise, and reckless haste, the art of silent waiting is your hidden weapon. It's not about inaction, it's about precision, it's about power. Welcome to the heart of patience as power, where you learn to wait quietly, strike hard, and win smart. This journey isn't for the faint-hearted. It's for those who dare to harness the strength of stillness, to observe before they act, to build their triumph in the quiet before the storm. Are you ready to become the panther? To master the art of silent waiting and unleash your might at the exact right moment? Let's step into the jungle together. Imagine yourself in a high-stakes boardroom. The air is thick with tension, the kind that presses against your chest like a heavy fog. You're a negotiator, seated across from a seasoned opponent who's mastered the art of intimidation. They throw numbers at you, rapid fire, their voice sharp and commanding. Every instinct screams for you to interrupt, to counter, to prove your worth right now. But you don't. You sit back, your face a mask of calm, your silence a fortress. You listen. You watch. Their words spill like a river over jagged rocks, revealing their doubts, their hidden needs, the cracks in their armor. Minutes pass, agonizing, endless minutes. But you hold your ground. Then, when their momentum falters, when their guard slips just an inch, you speak. Your words are few, precise, a blade cutting through clutter. You offer a solution that addresses their unspoken fears, a deal they can't refuse. The room shifts, power tilts in your favor. They nod, stunned by your clarity, shaken by your restraint. You've won, not by shouting, but by waiting. This is the Panther's way. In that boardroom, you didn't just negotiate a deal, you hunted a victory. Your silence was your stalk, your observation your strength. You didn't react to the noise, you read the terrain, and when the moment was ripe, your strike was lethal. The lesson burns bright. Restraint isn't weakness, it's a weapon. When you wait silently, you gather the raw materials of triumph, insight, timing, control. How often have you lost ground by rushing to speak, by acting before understanding? In the jungle of life, the loudest roar rarely wins. It's the quiet predator who claims the prize. Now, one step into the shoes of a student, young and eager, sitting in a classroom buzzing with debate. The topic is fiery, the arguments sharp, and your peers are quick to raise their voices, each desperate to be heard. You've got ideas, brilliant ones, but every time you open your mouth, someone cuts you off. Frustration boils inside you, a wildfire threatening to consume your calm. You want to shout, to demand attention, to prove you belong, but something stops you. A quiet voice within whispers. Wait, watch, learn. So then you lean back, you observe, you see who dominates and why, who falters under pressure, Who misses the deeper point? You notice the professor's subtle nods, the questions they repeat, the gaps no one fills. And then, near the end, when the room grows weary, when the noise begins to fade, you raise your hand. Your voice is steady, your point sharp, tying together threads others overlooked. The room falls silent. The professor's eyes light up. Your peers turn, impressed, even envious. In that moment, you shine, not because you fought for attention, but because you waited for the right stage. Like the panther in the jungle, you didn't pounce at the first sign of opportunity. You stalked your moment, patient and unseen, until the conditions were perfect. Your restraint turned frustration into fuel, observation into strategy. The takeaway is clear. Silent waiting isn't about shrinking back. It's about positioning yourself for the ultimate strike. How many times have you spoken too soon, only to regret your haste? Victory belongs to those who master the art of timing, who know that a single, well-placed move outweighs a dozen reckless ones. Let's dive deeper into the jungle of your own mind. Think of patience not as a burden, but as a sacred forge where your strength is tempered. The panther doesn't wait because it's timid. It waits because it knows the value of the pause. In that stillness, it reads the wind, senses the prey's rhythm, aligns its energy for the inevitable strike. So, too, must you embrace the power of the pause. In a world obsessed with speed, fast replies, instant results, endless hustle, the ability to stop, to breathe, to observe is a rebellion. It's a declaration that you will not be swayed by noise, that you will not be rushed into error. When life presses you to act, to decide, to speak, the pause is your sanctuary. It's where you sift through chaos and find clarity. It's where you transform raw impulse into refined intent. Consider this. How many battles have you lost by charging in unprepared? How many words have you wished to reclaim because you spoke without thought? The art of silent waiting is not passive. It's a deliberate act of power, like a river carving through stone. Patience works slowly but shapes the unyielding. It teaches you to see what others miss, the subtle shift in a rival's tone, the hidden opportunity in a setback, the perfect moment to act. In the pause, you become the panther, unseen but ever present, gathering the strength to strike hard and win smart. So, stand still when the world demands you run. Wait quietly when others shout. Your power grows in the silence. Now let's sharpen another truth. Observation is your blade, honed in the quiet of waiting. The panther doesn't merely sit in the shadows, it studies. It learns the prey's habits, the terrain's secrets, the wind's whispers. Every detail becomes a tool for its triumph. You, too, wield this weapon when you choose to observe before you act. In every interaction, every challenge, there are layers beneath the surface, motives unspoken, fears disguised, opportunities cloaked in noise. The impatient see only the obvious and stumble. The wise, the patient, the silent, they peel back the layers. They see the truth, and in seeing, they conquer. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly looked before you leaped? In the rush to respond, to fix, to win, you risk missing the map hidden in plain sight. Silent waiting gives you the time to observe, to collect the fragments of insight that others overlook. Think of it as crafting a mosaic. Each piece of information, each subtle cue fits together to reveal the bigger picture. A colleague's hesitation, a competitor's overconfidence, a problem's root cause. These are the threads you weave into strategy. Like the panther, your strike is only as strong as your preparation. Observation turns waiting into wisdom, and wisdom into power. So, train your eyes to see beyond the surface. Let your silence be your lens. When the moment comes, your strike will be unerring. Let's ground this philosophy in action. One of the most potent ways to practice silent waiting is to become a master of listening. In conversations, negotiations, or even personal conflicts, resist the urge to speak first or speak often. Instead, commit to this simple step. For the next interaction, focus on listening twice as much as you talk. When someone speaks, don't just hear their words. Search for their intent. Notice their tone, their pauses, the emotions flickering behind their eyes. Ask yourself, what are they not saying? Hold your response until you've truly understood their position. Then, when you speak, let your words be few, but weighted with insight. This isn't easy. Your mind will itch to interrupt, to defend, to impress. But remember the panther. Its power lies in restraint. Start small. In your next meeting or discussion, set a mental timer to wait at least 5 seconds before replying. Use that time to breathe, to process, to observe. You'll be amazed at what you uncover in those quiet moments. Hidden needs, unspoken doubts, or even your own clarity. Listening is your stalk through the jungle. It positions you to strike with precision. Practice it daily and watch how your influence grows, how your decisions sharpen, how your wins multiply. Here's another actionable step to embody silent waiting. Build your patience muscle through deliberate delays. The next time you face a decision, whether it's responding to an email, making a purchase, or confronting a challenge, force yourself to wait. Set a specific time frame, 24 hours for big decisions, 10 minutes for smaller ones. During that delay, step back and observe. Ask yourself, what am I missing? What changes if I wait? Write down your initial impulse, then revisit it after the delay. Often, you'll find your first reaction was fueled by emotion, not reason. The wait reveals a smarter path. This practice mirrors the panther's discipline. It trains you to resist the lure of instant gratification, to value timing over speed. Start with one decision each day. Maybe it's holding off on a heated text or pausing before committing to a project. Use that time to gather information, to weigh outcomes, to align your actions with your goals. Over time, this habit transforms impatience into power. You'll notice a shift. Decisions become clearer, conflicts less draining, opportunities more visible. Silent waiting isn't just a strategy, it's a muscle. Strengthen it, and you'll strike harder, win smarter. As we emerge from the jungle of silent waiting, let's carry its lessons forward. You've seen how restraint and observation forge unbreakable power, through the negotiator who turned silence into strategy, the student who transformed frustration into brilliance, and the timeless wisdom of the panther's stalk. The art of silent waiting is not about standing still. It's about preparing to move with purpose. It's about gathering strength in the quiet, honing your insight in the pause, and striking when the world least expects. The key lesson burns like a beacon. Patience is not passive. It is the foundation of precision, the root of victory. Every moment you wait, every detail you observe, builds the force of your eventual strike. You are the panther, poised and powerful, ready to claim what's yours. As we move to the next chapter of this journey, hold this truth close. Let it guide you through the storms ahead. Remember, your greatest wins are born in the silence before the strike. Wait quietly, strike hard, win smart. Picture yourself as a master archer, standing on a windswept cliff at dawn. The bow in your hands trembles with tension, the string taut against your fingers, every muscle in your body aligned for one purpose, the perfect shot. You don't release yet. You wait. You breathe. You feel the wind shift, and only when the moment is right, when the world itself seems to hold its breath, do you let the arrow fly. It pierces the target, not by chance, but by design. This, my friend, is the force of the measured strike. In the grand journey of patience is power. Wait quietly, strike hard, win smart. This is your crucible. You're not here to flail wildly or act on impulse. You're here to learn the art of precision, to act with intent at the perfect moment, to transform waiting into a weapon. Feel the tension building within you now. Are you ready to release your arrow? Let's uncover the power of timing. the strength of restraint, and the victory that comes when you strike with purpose. Imagine you're a business owner, a visionary with a product that could change lives. You've poured years into crafting it, every detail, every feature, a labor of love. The world around you buzzes with noise, competitors launching half-baked ideas, investors pressuring you to rush, friends doubting your slow pace. Strike now, they urge. The market won't wait. But you see what they don't. The conditions aren't right. The audience isn't ready. Like the master archer, you hold your bow steady, feeling the tension, studying the winds of change. You wait for the ideal moment, when demand peaks, when trends align, when your product isn't just another option, but the only solution. For months, you refine, you tweak, you test. Doubt creeps in during quiet nights. What if I've missed my chance? But you silence it. You trust the process. Then, the moment arrives. A gap in the market opens like a clear shot to the target. You launch. The response is thunderous. Orders flood in, reviews soar, and your vision, once questioned, becomes a triumph. Why? Because you didn't just act, you acted with precision. You waited quietly, struck hard, and won smart. The lesson here is raw and real. Timing isn't luck, it's a skill. Like the archer, you built tension through patience, and when you released, your arrow flew true. Success wasn't a gamble, it was a measured strike. Now, step into the shoes of a writer, hunched over a desk in a dimly lit room, surrounded by crumpled pages and half-empty coffee cups. You've carried a story in your heart for years, a manuscript that burns to be shared. Agents knock, friends encourage. Publish now, get it out there. But deep down, you know it's not ready. The words don't sing yet. The soul of the tale isn't fully forged. So, you wait, you revise, you cut and rebuild. Years pass. The temptation to settle gnaws at you. Good enough whispers in your ear, but you're not crafting good enough. You're crafting a masterpiece. You hold back, like the archer on the cliff, feeling the strain of the bow, knowing one premature shot could miss the mark forever. You refine every sentence until it cuts like a blade. Then, one day, it's done. The story breathes. You release it into the world at the perfect moment, when readers crave exactly what you've created. The response is electric. Your book doesn't just sell, it resonates. It changes hearts. Critics call it timeless. Why? Because you didn't rush. You waited quietly for the right moment, struck with the full force of your polished work, and won with intelligence. The takeaway mirrors the archer's truth. Patience builds power. Your manuscript, held back for years, became an arrow that couldn't miss. Let's pause and dig deeper. What is this tension you feel when you wait? It's not weakness, it's strength under pressure. Think of the archer again. Muscles straining, eyes locked on the target. Every second of waiting sharpens their focus, steadies their aim. So it is with you. When you delay action, when you resist the urge to leap without looking, you're not stalling, you're charging. You're gathering the energy of intent, the clarity of purpose. Patience isn't passive, it's a coiled spring, a river carving stone over time, a fire smoldering before it roars. How often have you rushed and regretted? How many times have you acted out of fear or haste, only to see your efforts scatter like arrows in a storm? The measured strike teaches us that waiting is not surrender. It's strategy. It's the quiet before the thunder. Embrace the tension, for in that space, your power grows. Let the world rush around you. Stand firm. Your moment is coming. Now consider this. Action without intent is chaos. 1,000 arrows loosed without aim will never hit the mark. You've seen it in life. People flinging themselves into decisions, chasing every opportunity, hoping something sticks. But you're not them. You're the archer who knows one perfect shot outweighs 100 wild ones. Precision is your edge. It's the difference between a hammer swung blindly and a sculptor's chisel carving beauty from stone. When you strike, let it be with purpose. Let every move carry the weight of your patience, the focus of your weight. Ask yourself, are you acting from clarity or desperation? Are you releasing your arrow because the moment is right, or because you're tired of holding the bow? The measured strike isn't just about timing, it's about meaning. Make your actions count. Let them pierce the heart of your goal. So, how do you wield the force of the measured strike in your own life? Start here. When you face a decision, whether it's launching a project, making a career move, or sharing your art, pause. Don't let the noise of urgency push you. Step back and survey the landscape like the archer scanning the wind. Ask yourself 3 questions. Is this the right moment? Am I fully prepared? Does this align with my ultimate vision? Write down your answers. Clarity on paper cuts through emotional fog. If the answer to any question is no, wait, refine, build your strength. If it's yes, act with every ounce of your being. Trust that waiting isn't losing time, it's gaining power. Practice this daily. Before every big move, take a breath, feel the tension, then strike with intent. Your victories will not be accidents, they'll be masterpieces of timing. Waiting isn't empty time. It's your training ground. Use it to sharpen your focus, to hone your craft. Each day you hold back, commit to one small act of improvement. If you're waiting to launch a business, study your market deeper. If you're perfecting a skill, practice with relentless dedication. Keep a journal of your progress. Note what you've learned, how you've grown. This isn't just busy work, it's loading your arrow with precision. When doubt creeps in, and it will, remind yourself, I'm not idle, I'm building. Visualize your target every night before sleep. See the moment of release, the arrow flying true. This mental rehearsal primes you for action. When the perfect moment arrives, you won't hesitate. You'll strike hard with the full force of your preparation and win smart. The weight is your forge. Use it. Finally, let's reflect on the beauty of victory born from patience. When you strike at the right moment, the world shifts. Your efforts, once questioned, become undeniable. Your struggles, once heavy, transform into stepping stones. Think of the archer's arrow piercing the target after endless waiting. The satisfaction isn't just in the hit, it's in knowing every second of restraint led to this. So it is with you. Every time you've held back, every time you've chosen to wait quietly, you've built toward a triumph that can't be taken away. What could you achieve if you trusted your timing? What mountains could you move if you struck only when ready? The measured strike is your power. It's the proof that patience isn't just endurance, it's mastery. You don't just win, you win with wisdom. Let that truth fuel you as you stand, bow in hand, waiting for your moment. As we close this chapter on the force of the measured strike, remember the core truth. Patience is not delay, it's the foundation of precision. You've walked with a business owner who waited for the perfect market, felt the writer's quiet persistence, and stood as the archer, tension building for the flawless shot. The takeaway is clear. Acting with intent at the perfect moment turns waiting into winning. You've learned to embrace the tension, to refine in the wait, to strike with purpose. This isn't just a skill, it's a way of being. Carry it forward. As we move to the next stage of our journey in Patience is Power, know that every quiet moment prepares you for a harder strike, a smarter win. Hold your bow steady. Trust your timing. Your target is closer than you think. Wait with focus. Strike with force. Win with wisdom. Picture a river, silent and unhurried, gliding over ancient stone. Day by day, it carves its path, relentless in its quiet power, shaping even the hardest granite into submission. You stand at the edge of your own life, gazing at the unyielding obstacles before you. Do you rush forward, striking blindly, or do you wait, watching for the perfect moment to act? In this journey of Patience is Power, wait quietly, strike hard, win smart. The art of winning isn't in reckless haste, but in mastering the balance of patience and action. This is your battlefield. And victory, sustainable, meaningful victory, demands a strategy as deliberate as that river's flow. Feel the weight of this truth. To win smart is to harness time itself as your greatest ally. Let's dive into the strategy of winning smart, where every pause is a preparation and every strike is a triumph. You're not just playing the game, you're rewriting the rules. Imagine yourself seated at a worn wooden table, a chessboard stretched before you like a map of destiny. Each piece is a choice, each move a risk. You're up against a formidable opponent, someone who thrives on impatience, who lunges for quick kills. But you breathe deep. You see beyond the immediate skirmish. Early in the game, you sacrifice a pawn, then a knight, small losses that sting but don't shatter. Whispers of doubt creep in. Are you losing ground? Shouldn't you fight harder now? Yet you hold steady, your eyes fixed on a distant horizon. Move by move, you lure your opponent into a trap, their confidence blinding them to the net tightening around their king. Then, in a single calculated strike, checkmate, the board is yours. Not because you rushed, but because you waited, because you played the long game. This is the essence of winning smart. Life, too, is a chessboard. You face setbacks, lost opportunities, rejections, moments where the world seems to demand you act now or forfeit everything. But consider this. Every sacrifice, every quiet step back is positioning you for a greater victory. That job you didn't get, it taught you resilience. That project that failed, it sharpened your vision. The river of patience in your soul carves through the stone of adversity, not with brute force, but with unwavering intent. You don't win by reacting to every jab. You win by crafting a strategy that turns even loss into leverage. The lesson here is clear. Sustainable victory blooms from the seeds of patience, sown with purpose and harvested with precision. Now why shift your gaze to a vast, open field under a relentless sun? You're a farmer, hands rough with toil, planting seeds into soil that offers no promises. Each grain you bury is a hope, a silent prayer for abundance. Days turn to weeks, and the field remains barren. Neighbors mock your patience, urging you to abandon this patch for quicker gains elsewhere. Why wait for uncertain crops when you can buy now? They taunt. But you kneel in the dirt, tending to invisible roots, trusting in a rhythm older than time. You water, you wait. You watch as storms rage and pass. Then, one dawn, green shoots pierce the earth. By season's end, your harvest overflows, a testament to your quiet endurance. This story mirrors your own struggles. How often have you planted seeds of effort, learning a skill, building a relationship, chasing a vision, only to face silence in return? The world tempts you with shortcuts, instant results that glitter, but fade. Yet, like the farmer, you must trust the unseen growth beneath the surface. The river of patience shapes your path, eroding doubt with every steady day of effort. Winning smart isn't about the loudest harvest today. It's about the abundance that lasts. You learn that true power lies in enduring the quiet seasons, knowing each act of faith is carving a future no storm can uproot. The takeaway shines through. Balance patience with action, and your victories will stand the test of time. Let's pause and look deeper. A river doesn't roar as it shapes stone. It flows, persistent and unapologetic, wearing down what seems unbreakable. So it is with you. Patience isn't passivity. It's a force, a deliberate choice to align with time rather than fight it. How many times have you rushed into battle, only to find yourself bruised and empty-handed? How often have you abandoned a dream because the first steps didn't yield gold? Winning smart demands that you rethink urgency. It asks you to see waiting not as weakness, but as the gathering of strength. Like a river, your patience is a current, subtle yet unstoppable, cutting through the hardest barriers of fear, doubt, and failure. Think of your life as a landscape of stone and water. The obstacles, financial strain, personal loss, unfulfilled ambitions stand like granite in your way. You could strike them with a hammer, exhausting yourself in futile bursts, or you can flow like the river, letting time and steady effort do the carving. This balance of patience and action isn't just a tactic, it's a philosophy. It's the understanding that every moment of waiting is a moment of preparation. Every small act a stroke against the stone. You're not idle when you wait. You're strategizing, observing, building the momentum for a strike that lands true. Embrace this truth. Your greatest victories are not won in a day, but shaped over seasons of quiet, relentless will. Consider this. The world worships speed. It chants that faster is better, that waiting is losing, but look closer. A sprinter may burst ahead, but it's the marathon runner, pacing each step, who endures to the end. Why do you feel the urge to rush when the finish line of true success is a lifetime away? Why trade depth for a fleeting win? Winning smart means rejecting the illusion that speed equals strength. It means recognizing that patience isn't a delay, it's a design. Like the river-shaping stone, your journey isn't about how quickly you arrive, but how deeply you transform the terrain of your life along the way. This illusion of speed often traps you in cycles of frustration. You chase quick fixes, a new job, a sudden breakthrough, an overnight success, only to find they crumble under pressure. True victory, the kind that sustains, is built brick by brick, moment by moment. Picture yourself as an architect of a grand cathedral, laying each stone with care. A single day's work seems insignificant, yet over years a masterpiece rises. Patience paired with action crafts legacies. When you feel the pull to rush, step back. Ask yourself, am I building for now or for forever? Let the river's wisdom guide you, slow, steady, and sure your efforts will carve paths no haste can match. Now let's turn philosophy into power. Winning smart starts with tangible choices. When life presses you to act impulsively, whether it's a heated argument, a risky decision, or a moment of doubt, pause, take a breath as deep as a river's undercurrent. Ask yourself, what's the cost of acting now versus waiting for clarity? Write down one reason to hold steady, one outcome worth the wait. This simple act anchors you, turning impatience into strategy. Then, map out your next move, not as a reaction, but as a deliberate step toward your greater goal. Patience isn't inaction, it's choosing when to strike with purpose. Next, and build a rhythm of small, consistent actions. Like the farmer watering his field, commit to daily progress, even when results hide below the surface. Set a single, achievable task each day tied to your vision. Read a chapter, write a page, connect with one person. Track these efforts in a journal, noting how they accumulate. When frustration bites, revisit your record. See how far you've come through quiet persistence. This practice transforms waiting into building, doubt into determination. Remember, the river doesn't carve stone in a day. It works through endless, tiny ripples. So must you. Balance patience with these steady acts and watch your victories grow, solid, sustainable, and smart. Another tool to win smart is guarding your mind against the trap of haste. When the world screams for instant results, create a shield of reflection. At the end of each week, carve out 10 minutes to review your progress. Ask, where did I rush this week, and what did it cost me? Then, identify one moment where patience served you, a conversation you didn't escalate, a decision you delayed for better insight. Write these down. This habit trains your mind to value the slow carve of the river over the reckless swing of a hammer. Additionally, set intentional delays before major actions. If a choice feels urgent, give yourself a 24-hour buffer unless it's life-threatening. Use this time to weigh outcomes, seek advice, or simply let emotions settle. Often, What feels critical today reveals its true weight tomorrow. This isn't procrastination, it's precision. You're aligning with the river's flow, ensuring every strike you make is hard and true. Winning smart means mastering this dance, knowing when to wait quietly and when to act with unyielding force. Equip yourself with these steps, and you'll carve paths through life's hardest stones. As we close this chapter on the strategy of winning smart, let the image of the river shaping stone linger in your mind. You've seen how patience, paired with purposeful action, crafts victories that endure. Through the chess player's calculated gambit, the farmer's quiet faith, and the reflections that challenge you to rethink time itself. The takeaway is undeniable. Sustainable triumph isn't born from haste, but from the balance of waiting quietly and striking hard. You hold the power to carve your path, not with frantic swings, but with the steady, relentless flow of intention. Every moment you choose patience over impulse, every small act you commit to, shapes a future no obstacle can withstand. Carry this wisdom forward. Let it guide you through life's storms and silences. As we move into the next leg of this journey, prepare to deepen your resolve, to strike even harder with the clarity patience brings. For now, hold this truth as your anchor, your mantra to echo in every challenge. Flow like the river, carve your victory with time. Picture yourself standing on a jagged cliff, the world below shrouded in a dense, unyielding fog. The wind howls, carrying whispers of doubt and urgency, tempting you to leap without a plan, to act without clarity. Yet, amidst the chaos, a lighthouse stands firm, its beams slicing through the haze, offering quiet guidance, a promise of safe harbor. This is the essence of patience, the silent power that transforms confusion into direction, challenges into triumphs. You are here at the edge of your own story, learning that patience is not weakness, it is power. In the grand tapestry of patience is power, wait quietly, strike hard, win smart. This section, The Legacy of Patience as Power, invites you to reflect on how waiting with purpose forges enduring victories. Feel the weight of this truth. The storms of life do not break you. They reveal you. Are you ready to stand as that lighthouse, unwavering, piercing through your own fog with the clarity of patience? Imagine a leader named Mara, standing before a team fractured by failure. Their small business, once a beacon of hope, now teeters on the edge of collapse. Deadlines missed, morale shattered, and trust eroded. Every voice in the room clamors for quick fixes, for rash decisions to salvage what remains. But Mara sees beyond the storm. She knows that rebuilding is not a sprint, it's a slow, deliberate climb. She chooses patience as her shield. Instead of firing underperformers or slashing budgets for instant results, she listens. Day after day, she sits with her team, hearing their fears, their frustrations, their buried dreams. She doesn't promise miracles. She promises presence. "We will rise," she says, her voice steady as a lighthouse beam. But we rise together, step by step. Years pass, the journey is grueling. Late nights, small wins, countless setbacks. Competitors mock their slow pace, but Mara holds firm. She invests in training, rebuilds processes with care, and fosters a culture where mistakes are lessons, not executions. Gradually, the team transforms. Trust becomes their foundation, an unbreakable bond forged in the quiet heat of patience. When the market shifts, they are ready, not with reckless gambles, but with a strategy honed by years of preparation. Their success is not a fleeting spark, it's a roaring flame, sustained by the legacy of waiting wisely. Mara's lighthouse guided them through the fog of despair, proving that patience doesn't just save, it builds empires. What fog surrounds you now? Could your quiet endurance be the light others need? Now, turn inward to a story of personal rebirth. Meet Elias, a man haunted by self-doubt after a string of rejections. Once a confident creator, he now hides behind safe choices. his dreams buried beneath layers of, "What if I fail again?" Each morning, he stares at a blank page, a canvas, a future he no longer believes in. The world tells him to move faster, to force inspiration, to abandon his vision for something practical. But Elias pauses. He remembers a lighthouse in his childhood, a solitary tower that stood through raging storms, its light never faltering. He decides to mirror that resilience, to wait quietly for his own clarity. Elias begins small. He writes one sentence a day, not for perfection, but for presence. He rebuilds his confidence brick by brick, allowing himself to stumble without shame. Months turn to years and the fog of doubt lingers, but he doesn't rush. He studies, refines, and shares his work with a trusted few, letting their feedback guide him like a distant beam. Slowly, his voice returns, stronger, sharper, truer. When he finally publishes his first piece, it's not just a creation, it's a triumph of patience over panic. Others see his journey and find courage to rebuild their own broken dreams. Elias becomes a lighthouse for strangers, his quiet persistence illuminating paths he never imagined. Tell me, how long have you dimmed your own light, fearing the weight? What could bloom if you stood firm through your fog? Let's step back and gaze upon the deeper truth of patience. It is not mere waiting, it is the silent architect of your greatest victories. Think of a lighthouse in the fog. Its beam doesn't shout or demand attention. It simply persists, cutting through uncertainty with unwavering clarity. So it is with patience in your life. When challenges loom like towering waves, threatening to drown your resolve, patience is the steady hand that keeps you anchored. It teaches you to see beyond the immediate crash, to understand that every storm reshapes the shore, carving new paths if you endure. Consider this. How often have you mistaken speed for strength? The world glorifies the quick strike, the instant result, but true power lies in the quiet build. Patience transforms your challenges by giving you the space to learn, to adapt, to forge resilience from raw pain. It's the difference between a house of straw, thrown together in haste, and a cathedral of stone, crafted over decades. Your struggles are not punishments. They are the raw materials of your legacy. Will you rush and crumble, or will you wait, shaping each hardship into a pillar of triumph? Patience is your compass when the fog of doubt blinds you. Trust its light to guide you home. Dive deeper with me into the fog itself. It is not your enemy, it is your teacher. When life clouds your vision with uncertainty, be it a failing venture, a broken relationship, or a dream that feels out of reach, the fog forces you to slow down, to listen, to recalibrate. A lighthouse doesn't banish the haze, it pierces through it, showing you that clarity is possible even in chaos. Patience, then, is your act of faith in that light. It's the choice to stand still when every instinct screams to run, to trust that the mist will lift if you hold your ground. Reflect on your own fog. How many times have you acted in panic, only to stumble further from your goal? Patience rewrites that story. It turns waiting into wisdom, teaching you that time is not a thief but a sculptor, chiseling away your rough edges until your true form emerges. The challenges you face are not dead ends, they are detours, guiding you to a stronger self if you let them. What lesson hides in your current haze? Are you willing to wait for its revelation, to let patience be the beam that lights your way? Now, let's ground this philosophy in action. When the fog of life descends, when a project stalls, a goal seems unreachable, or doubt clouds your mind, anchor yourself with patience. First, where to pause, resist the urge to react, to force an outcome. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what can I learn from this delay? Write down one insight, no matter how small. This act shifts your focus from frustration to growth, turning waiting into a classroom. Next, set a micro goal for the day. If you're stuck, don't aim for the summit, aim for the next foothold. Break your challenge into a single, doable step. Send one email, draft one idea, mend one conversation. This keeps you moving without overwhelming you. Finally, remind yourself of your lighthouse. Visualize a steady beam cutting through your fog, a symbol of the clarity that awaits. Patience isn't passive, it's purposeful. Each day you choose to wait with intention. You build momentum for the moment to strike hard. Start now. What's one small step you can take today to honor the wait? Here's another tool to wield patience as power. Cultivate quiet strength. When challenges test you, don't broadcast your struggle or seek quick validation. Instead, work in silence. Keep a journal or a private log of your progress, noting every small victory, every lesson from a setback. This isn't for others, it's for you. A record of your resilience. A reminder that you're building something enduring even when the fog hides your path. Then to create a ritual of reflection, each evening, spend 5 minutes asking, what did I endure today? How did waiting make me stronger? This trains your mind to see patience as a muscle, not a burden. Lastly, surround yourself with reminders of your purpose. A quote, a photo, a token of why you started. Let these be your lighthouse, guiding you back to clarity when doubt creeps in. Patience is your quiet forge. Use it to temper your resolve. What will you do today to strengthen your silent power? As we close this chapter of the legacy of patience as power, let the truth settle into your bones. Patience transforms challenges into enduring triumphs. You've walked with Mara, whose quiet endurance built a team's unbreakable bond, and with Elias, whose slow rebirth lit the way for others. You've seen patience as a lighthouse, cutting through the fog of life's uncertainties with unyielding clarity. The takeaway is clear. Patience is not just waiting, it is the power to shape your struggles into stepping stones for lasting victory. Every moment you choose to wait with purpose, you carve a legacy stronger than any storm. Stand firm now. Let the lessons of this section be your beam as we prepare to journey deeper into the art of striking hard and winning smart. Your fog will lift, your path will clear, if only you trust the quiet power within. Hold this truth close as we move forward together, ready to turn patience into action, endurance into triumph. Stand as your own lighthouse. Let patience pierce your fog with unbreakable light.